Do you like LS swaps or going unsafe speeds in 1980s shipbox GM automobiles? Boy, I sure do. Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Cars and Joshy. Today, I'm going to be giving you a walk around of my 1983 El Camino that's doing a frame-off restoration and a resto mod. But first, I'm going to give the El Camino a little cleanup because I built this garage shelving unit and it's had a thin layer of sawdust on it ever since. So I'm going to go ahead and get that car cleaned up. I'll time-lapse the cleanup and then I'll give you that walk around. Yeah, well, all I did really was spritz it with some Windex and just kind of wiped it down with a microfiber cloth just to kind of get that light glaze of dust off of it. So next I'm gonna roll it back into the garage and I'll start showing everybody what I've done to it so far and some of the things coming up in future videos. Alright, as you can see, I got the truck back in the garage, got it back up on jack stands so we can get up underneath and show you some of the parts I put on there. But I think we can go ahead and start with the obvious. I got rid of the trim, did a trim delete and went with some painted stripes where the trim used to be. And I shaved the bed rails and had it molded over, and so those are, you know, the two obvious things we see when we look at it. And the paint is just GM gloss black, and the red is Valspar color called fuchsia mica. So I inherited this truck from a family member that passed away, and they always had red vehicles, red cars. They were a big fan of Cadillac and always had a red car, and so I kind of want to honor that by sticking with a red theme. So that's why I chose the fuchsia mica, because I also wanted it to be a custom color, because the 80s GM G-body cars are now kind of becoming the muscle cars of my generation. And if we roll back around to the bed, you can see I have it lined. It's lined with Raptor liner, And on the inside of it's sprayed with lizard skin insulation, so all back in the smuggler's hatch and everywhere on the interior, up on the header, on the roof, header panel, all that stuff. And inside the doors are Raptor lined as well. And then Raptor liner on the, inside the doors are lizard skin, and the whole undercarriage of the truck is Raptor lined, the bulkhead and everything. And then if you look at the frame's not powder coated, it's ALK paint. So I got the frame painted with ALK, and we'll go ahead and go to the back and go up underneath the car and kind of look at some of the stuff we have under here. So here we go. We have QA1 coilovers. They're single adjustable. Got a 150-pound spring on it. This car is mainly going to be weekend cruiser with the occasional good guys car show like autocross. It's not a purpose-built autocross vehicle, so more of a local car show and weekend fun. So this is a quick performance Ford 9-inch rear end. I got it extended, same length as a Ford 8.8, so it's a 2 inches overall length more than a stock G-body rear end. I did that for fitting tires, wider tires on there. And I don't know if you can see, but I also got the frame notch in place, so also to help a little bit with the tires. I got the QA1 strut tower brace for a little bit of reinforcement, and the UMI Performance sway bar. I think I said QA1 strut tower brace, but it's UMI Performance. UMI upper control arms, UMI lower control arms, and the brakes that I have on here are some eBay special brakes, cross-drilled slotted for F-bodies. I had Quick Performance put the F-body flange on the axle tubes because I already had F-body brakes from my stock rear end. I did a conversion to disc brakes on the stock rear end before I bought the QA1 rear end, and so I just kept those brakes. And if anybody's thinking about doing something similar and not paying extra for the I think it's 11-inch brakes that come with the Explorer for doing a Ford 9-inch rear, little tip: you have to slide this backing plate on the axle and then press on your bearing, and then these bolts, there's some T-head bolts here that hold the backing plate on. So that's how you handle it if you want to stick with F-body brakes on a QA or on a Quick Performance rear end. And the brake line was just the factory G-body brake line that I kind of repositioned and used to mount the hard line and stuff for the brakes back here. These little plastic clips, I have a little rubber insulator up underneath them, but I got those from Quick Performance as well. Tip on the rear end, I would spring for the fill plug. I didn't think about that when I purchased this, but in hindsight, definitely spring for the fill plug. And I wouldn't pay for the powder coated up front, because
you don't really want to mess your powder coat up to weld on some brake line clips and stuff, so that's why I got those plastic clips. I didn't feel like, you know, grinding off powder coat and repainting it and making it look not as good. I also have, if you can see it going across there, I have the brace, the control arm brace that connects the lower control arm to the upper control arm. That's from UMI as well. So this piece right here. So that's basically what I have done underneath so far. And like I said, I'm working from kind of the back to the front, from the ground up. So if you look up underneath the undercoat, that's that Raptor liner I was saying I have on the underside. So yep, I'll come out from underneath now. We'll go back around front. We've got a few things that we have there. Alright, so up front I have QA1 control arms, upper and lower. I have QA1 coilovers, and I think they're 450-pound springs up front. I can't remember for sure. And then I also have the Beltec 2-inch drop spindles, and I have, if you look inside here, these are the stock G-body brake and hub assembly that was machined down to make a hub for the F-body brakes. And I have a different brand that I'm going to be swapping those out with, because I didn't like, when I machined them down, when I pressed in the studs, I could see little hairline fractures and cracking of the 30-year-old steel on there. So I've got some anodized ones that I got from Flying By Performance, and those will be getting swapped out in a future video. So that's what I have up front. I also have a complete new steering linkage kit that'll be going on in another video. So, and that's it. They're old 16-inch Firebird TA F-body wheels. So it's a pretty good deal. Came with the rubber on them, so I mean, just for something to roll around, fit my needs, so pick those up. I did have a fitment test for these 295s 19s, and these are stock 2015 SS rims on there, and they fit no problem. I'm just gonna have to find a wheel with the right back spacing, because I am not keeping that 2-inch spacer on there. It's a little bit ridiculous, but got it on there to kind of roll it around. So, and that's it. I think next video is probably going to be getting my calipers put on there. Got some, these are the F-body calipers here, front dual piston, and the rear single piston calipers, painted with the same fuchsia mica as the body, and then my valve covers, and then the CTSV brick there that it's all going to be matching. So yes, eventually there'll be a LSA supercharged truck motor in here, basically. So thanks for watching. This is Cars and Joshy. Josh out. Lav mic sound check. Lav mic sound check. Is this a good spot for it? What does it sound like? Is it picking up hairs rustling in it? Is it picking up my breath too much? What if I was working really hard and I started breathing heavy? Well, what happens then?
There's just too much noise coming from that mic. Let's end the test right